Let me be blunt with you. If you're over 60 and still making the same money mistakes you made at 30, you're walking straight into a disaster. I've watched people work their whole lives, save a little, spend a little, hope a little, and then hit retirement like a wall. Not because they didn't earn enough, but because they kept committing the same 3 money sins that quietly drain a lifetime of effort. And if you think you're the exception, you probably aren't. Today, I'm going to talk to you like no banker, no advisor, and certainly no politician ever will. Because someone needs to tell you the truth while you still have time to fix it. Let me tell you something I've learned watching millions of people move through life. Money isn't lost in big dramatic moments. It's lost in tiny decisions, repeated for decades, until one day a man looks at his savings and realizes he's too old for a do-over. I've met people who spent 40 years chasing the next big thing, only to end up with nothing but regret. I've met people who refused to invest because they were scared and ended up scared anyway. I've met people who acted like retirement was a distant planet they'd never reach. And suddenly, there they were, standing on it, unprepared. And if you're watching this right now, there's a good chance you felt that same sinking feeling. You look at your savings and wonder if it's enough. You look at the future and wonder if you're one bad decision away from starting over at the age you should be resting. You wonder whether you'll be a burden on your kids, or whether you'll outlive your money, or whether you'll have to work long after your body says it's done. I've seen these fears in the eyes of thousands of people. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of them didn't land there because of fate. They landed there because of patterns no one bothered to question. So I want you to hear this clearly. If you're over 60, you don't have the luxury of ignoring your financial habits anymore. You can't coast on hope, luck, or maybe things will get better. You must understand the forces that quietly robbed you of wealth without you noticing. Because the worst part isn't losing money. The worst part is losing time. Time you can't get back. Time you should have used to build a margin of safety, not a lifetime of anxiety. And I'll be honest with you, most people your age don't need more income. They need fewer mistakes. They need to stop committing the same 3 money sins that have ruined more retirements than any stock market crash ever has. Now that I've probably made you a little uncomfortable, let me offer you something better than fear: clarity. I've spent over 70 years studying why people win with money and why they lose. I've seen every boom, every bust, every euphoric high, and every panic-driven collapse. I've watched ordinary people sabotage themselves. And I've watched ordinary people become millionaires on modest incomes simply because they understood a few core principles. And here's the good news. You don't need to be young to apply what I'm about to teach. You don't need fancy investments. You don't need incredible luck. And you certainly don't need to gamble with your savings. You only need to understand the truth about these 3 sins and how to replace them with habits that actually protect you. By the end of this video, you'll know the real reason money slips through your fingers after 60, how people accidentally destroy decades of savings without realizing it, the simple mindset shift that stops wealth from leaking out of your life, the exact behaviors I practice myself to stay financially secure for a lifetime, and most importantly, how you can make these changes starting today. Not next month, not next year, not when the market feels better. Today, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to talk to you the way I talk to my closest partners, with honesty, clarity, and zero patience for excuses. If you're ready for that, let's get into the first money sin, the one that quietly ruins more retirements than any market crash you've ever lived through. The first money sin that destroys people after 60 is financial denial. Not bad luck, not low income, denial. Most people don't go broke because of one disaster. They go broke one ignored truth at a time. And the older you get, the more expensive every ignored truth becomes. When you're over 60, pretending everything is fine isn't comforting. It's dangerous. You don't have the income runway you had at 40 or the recovery time you had at 25. The truth doesn't get softer with age. It gets sharper. Let me show you exactly how denial works, because I've watched it ruin more retirements than recessions ever have. The little lies we tell ourselves. Financial denial sounds like, I'll deal with it later. My expenses aren't that bad. I can't downsize now. My kids will help. It'll work out. I've heard these lines for 70 years. And every time someone says them, they're already in trouble. The most expensive sentence in retirement is, I think it'll be okay. If you're thinking instead of measuring, you're gambling. And gambling after 60 is financial Russian roulette. A moment I never forgot. When I was young, I visited a small business owner who asked for help. He said his shop was doing all right. Then I looked around. Bills on the floor, overdue invoices, unopened bank envelopes. He wasn't lying to me. He was lying to himself. I told him, you're not running a business. You're running from the truth. That day, we opened every envelope and faced every number. And do you know what happened? He stopped sinking. Clarity is oxygen. Denial is drowning. The three forms of financial denial. I've seen denial show up in three predictable ways. One, the I don't want to know denial. People avoid checking their spending, debt, or balances. They pretend ignorance is safety. It isn't. It's a slow leak that becomes a flood. Two, the I deserve this denial. People spend emotionally new gadgets, vacations, cars because spending feels good, but feelings don't pay bills. Discipline does. Three, the it will fix itself denial. People refuse to adjust their lifestyle. They believe things will magically improve. Your financial life isn't magic, it's math. The moment denial breaks. I've seen the same moment hundreds of times. A person finally looks at their real numbers, savings, debt, expenses, timeline, and their face changes. The regret hits instantly. I should have done something sooner. Not I should have earned more. Not I should have been lucky. Always I should have faced the truth earlier. The truth isn't your enemy. It's your compass. Denial makes you weak. Clarity makes you dangerous. People say, Warren, it's embarrassing to admit I'm behind. Let me tell you something. Billionaires screw up too. I've seen rich people go broke because they avoided reality. There is no shame in facing the truth. The only shame is refusing to, when you confront your numbers, really confront them, you take back control. You know how much you need. You know how much you waste. You know what must change. You know what you can't ignore anymore. Clarity gives you leverage. Denial steals it from you. What happens when you finally face the numbers? Here's what you'll feel in order. Fear, good. Fear wakes you up. Embarrassment, good. It means you're honest. Relief. The monster in the dark was worse than the real one. Control. This is when confidence returns. When you move from emotion to math, you stop reacting and start deciding the shift you must make today. Stop saying, I'm sure it's fine. Start asking, what's the actual number? If you cannot put a number on something, then you do not understand it. And what you don't understand will always control you. Tonight, yes, tonight, sit down with income, expenses, debt, savings, insurance, recurring costs, real retirement timeline, minimum and maximum monthly burn-in, emergency cushion, write them down. No excuses, no emotion, no ego. That single act puts you ahead of most people your age. The cold truth. Let me end this part with something you won't forget. You don't go broke because you're old. You go broke because you avoid the truth. Denial doesn't save your comfort. It protects your problems. Face everything now, every number, every bill, every habit, and your future finally becomes yours again. Because peace doesn't come from hope. It comes from clarity.